Mic check. bring that based on the conversation. Bring that up.
Are you ready? Right. Do you have anything else to pass out before we get started? Nope. You have anything else to pass out, Deb?
Yeah.
More of that.
All right, we'll get started at 6 o'clock. Seeing that we have a quorum, we will call the KCDC meeting, special meeting of June 15th to order at 6 o'clock. First on the agenda, invitation to address council. No one has signed up, so we will move on. No proclamations today. We will go to board member comments and announcements. Mr. Williamson?
Yeah, just real quick, my family and I took a quite long 14-day trip to Disney World in Florida, and I made my kids drive because that's where all the memories are made, right? Well, so we stopped in a few places on the way, and one of the places we stopped was Biloxi, Mississippi.
Sean, can you turn on your mic, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
One of the places we stopped was Biloxi, Mississippi. I thought it was beautiful. Actually, I was really impressed with it. And I kept thinking, it kind of reminds me of Kima. It's bigger. It's like 50K, something like that. We went to the Biloxi Museum, and I realized the Biloxi Museum was the same building that they had like the Chamber of Commerce and some other government officials in. And they were doing stuff, doing programs that day. And so I talked to a few of them. And I asked them, I was like, this is a tourist town, just like where I'm from. I mean, it even kind of looked like it. There's a lighthouse, it's like their main photograph place there, right on the coast, one strip. They have the hotels on the one strip and things like that. And then there's the residents behind, kind of like here. And so I was talking to a couple of them, and I mean, a couple of them basically, the two I talked to basically said the same thing. I asked them, I was like, how do we get more tourism? What's the trick? Because they're doing it really well. I mean, they have updated stuff all throughout the cities, even like their sub places, there's subdivision, things like that are just really nice. They're getting all these different things and arts and culture and stuff like that. So I just want to tell you, they told me two things that they did to get daytime tourism. Because that's kind of what I've been looking at. How do we get daytime tourism here? They gave me two answers. One of them may be controversial. Okay, the first one was museums. They said museums came in. The people with the younger children came in, and that type of thing. Second thing they said was recreation center, like a sports center. And they built one in the early 2000s, and they just renovated their sports center like a couple of years ago or last year because it was such a massive draw for the city. So they put $1 zillion in the 68 acres for theirs. Yeah. It's a sports center similar. I mean, not as big as ours. I mean, ours is obviously a little smaller than they would be done, but I just thought I'd tell you that. I thought it was interesting that they mentioned museums and sports center was the main draw for daytime tourism. So,
Thank you.
I think we should really push to be like the city in terms of how they have things set up, but that's a whole other conversation at another time.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Jackie,
Yes,
comments?
I'm good.
We always like to support our local businesses, and recently, last week, I was over at Mona Lisa, my favorite Italian restaurant in downtown Kima, and they're getting ready to open up the building next door. It's beautiful. It's green and pink, and it's going to be a pizzeria and an espresso machine and a full bar. So they'll have not only what they have right now, but also they'll be making pizzas. So they'll be open in a month. I encourage everybody to look for it and go try it out.
I'm very excited to hear about Mona Lisa. I also love them.
Fabulous.
I was also very happy to see on my way over here, I don't know if any of you have noticed, Jacqueline or Dustin, driving past the new sidewalk segment there on Evergreen that they built by 57 Acre. There had been an issue with some of that soil and sediment kind of sweeping onto the sidewalks there, but I noticed that they have put some grass down, and that seems to be helping, particularly with all the rain we've had in the last few days, so I was very happy to see that.
I don't have anything today. We'll move on to president's comments. Darren is out of town, so obviously that's why I'm doing all the talking. The president's comments, since Jackie didn't want to bring it up and brag that she's a panelist, there is a Real Talk marketing lesson coming up for business owners on Monday, June 22nd. Our very own Jacqueline is a panelist on it, along with several other business owners from around the lake. So if you have any friends in town that are business owners and looking to talk all things marketing from some pros, please have them register. There's QR codes, and I think we have it on I think I saw it on the city website too somewhere. But QR code here for anybody that's passing around. It's in your packet. I think that's all I got for president's comments. Oh, budget season is upon us. If you have a wish list of items or things you're working on that need to be allocated in the budget, please make sure you get that information to Darren and Ryan so they can get that done. Anything that's holding over, make sure if you have projects from this year or years past that are not done, please make sure you keep them budgeted, otherwise you lose it. I think that's it for that section, president's comments. I would also like to ask if I could get a motion to move item 10 up, since we have a visitor here, instead of making him wait for us to get through all of the executive director reports and our agenda.
I'll do that. I'd like to make a motion that we go to executive closed session, item 10, and move that to the next item up.
Perfect. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Perfect. With a first and a second. Did you get those?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. We will go to executive session at 6:07. I didn't bring mine.
Yes, take it back.
Here we go. You got this, Caesar? There.
Are you gonna have questions for me or no?
No, you're good. I told you earlier, you told me, I told you, yeah, go. I'll handle the drain and the tree stuff.
Don't tell me twice. This would be.
It should be fast.
Shoot.
No, it should be fast.
Keep
Do some keys, you know?
Okay, that's all right.
Right.
Also,
Thought you were leaving. What you want to do?
yeah, that's it.
All right, we will open up the special KCDC meeting at 6:32. Get a motion to move item 11,
What position is that?
6.
Like to make a motion that we recommend Jacob Biggers as position, what did you say?
6.
Position 6 in KCDC.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay. All opposed? One opposed. Sean? Item will pass. We will take that recommendation to council on Wednesday. Thank you, Jacob. We will then go back to, I did abstain. I will go back to item 6, the city administrator's report.
Thank you, councilman, members of the board. As far as the AARP grant details, we brought this item to council and it's already been approved. We've been recipients of 2 different grants. One is for doing a walkability audit, and one is to do a bikeability audit. What we're doing here tonight is letting people know that there'll be a call for volunteers going out. There's an entire booklet that I've shared with everybody up there. I think you had it in your box that shares exactly what this is. What we're asking is for your assistance for anybody who can go on our site, register to be volunteers, and hopefully assist us in completing this walkability and bikeability audit. We have had Councilman Lee Wallace says that he has no problem leading the walkability audit. We foresee that we'll be able to get more for the walkability audit. We do need some assistance with the bike audit and who can lead it. We have had some volunteers that I already said. Former Councilman Saldana said that he'll participate in the bike audit, but we just need more folks to actually participate. It's pretty cumbersome. There's quite a bit on there as far as the booklets are very intense. We do not have a print copy of the bikeability one. We do have it electronically that we did receive. So there will be an intake survey. There'll be a orientation webinar for whoever the leaders will be. Obviously, they will then recruit more volunteers to get this done. The objective is to cast a wide enough net that allows us to make sure that we do enough pockets and enough areas of the entire city that would allow us to get really good feedback in so we can get a full synopsis of where the needs for sidewalks are. This is different above and beyond from the HCAC livable centers sidewalk study that's going to be part of here coming up hopefully by July, that'll be part of the Lighthouse District area. this would be above and beyond that as well.
Put me down for the bikeability.
Yes, sir.
So how many people are you looking for? You're looking for us to volunteer and then to recruit volunteers?
That would be optimal.
Okay,
That
and
would
do
be
you have
optimal.
like a head count amount that,
I don't have a number because it would be dependent on how active the volunteers are. If a volunteer does 1 or 2 blocks, it's different from somebody that does 20 or 30 blocks.
okay,
So it would really be dependent on what that is. The objective would be to get the entire city covered. So it depends on how many folks would be able to participate.
okay. And do we have dates, like we're going to try to put an event behind it?
Everything is going to be tied to that. There will be a full rollout. First, we would need to identify who the leaders would be for each
Okay.
one of the studies. And then those leaders would serve almost as Pied Pipers, if you will. Then we would have a kickoff event and then go from there.
Okay,
We have a deadline to get this stuff done by middle of December. Our goal is to get it done before Thanksgiving if possible, before we get in the holiday season.
okay,
So the hope is to get this done and wrapped up before then. We know it's very hot right now, so it's going to be a little bit difficult and challenging to get out there and do these studies. However, we would like to get it done before it gets cool, and while it's not too hot, so somewhere in between if it's at all possible.
I so want to ask for a definition of what is too cool. It's okay, Caesar.
Yes, ma'am.
Sponsors?
Uh,
Water bottle passer outers, drinks?
There's a possibility for that. Thankfully, the grants came with not only all of this stuff that is listed here before you or on the flyer that you'll see in the QR code or in the booklets, but it also, each one came with a small stipend to assist with some of those things as well. And like the little trinket that you got, the little thing that I stapled to your booklets is a little light. We've looked at the possibility of getting some of those lights, maybe getting some walking, what are called walking vests or biking vest, or possibly some helmets as giveaway items to help promote the program as well. Okay. Next item that's on the agenda is our Bay Area partnership that was mentioned earlier. We do have Ms. Jacqueline who will be speaking on June 22nd. We do invite everybody to please come out and to help spread the word on that. It will be at 9 a.m. Over at Skipper's. So I do apologize. It will be starting at 9 a.m. So we look forward to having everybody. Please or if you can recommend anybody who you think may need to learn about marketing. We do have 4 local business folks who will be sharing their expertise at that meeting. And that is free. It is absolutely free to attend and to attend this training for any business owners who would like to be there. As far as World Cup updates, it has begun. I got a call already. We were on a call as far as the opening weekend and how things were. The area around us, as far as the Houston area, as far as East Downtown, was already at capacity, so much so they had to open supplemental areas, including the Dynamo Stadium, which was also at capacity soon thereafter. Folks are here. Folks are here for folks are coming, and we hope to see the result throughout the rest of the World Cup here. We did shoot
Before you move on from
Yes.
7C, just so you're aware, I don't know if anybody called you, the Coast Guard has been patrolling around high-density areas of town as part of their network of security for World Cup and Homeland Security and other federal partners. So if anybody gets phone calls about guys in blue walking around with rifles and other weapons, it's just the Coast Guard. It's not another agency that is going to be politicized. It is part of their security plan for the region. That's it.
And thanks for bringing that up. They'll be seeing guys in blue, green, brown, and likely gray. As far as our interagency calls and discussion on that, we have a call every single day that there's a game that we're hosting here in Houston, but also through some of these larger watch parties, where they do also make it a point to send additional folks both in uniform and in plain clothes for additional security. So as far as the region, we've been very, very active on that, and I'm pretty active on those phone calls as well. So going back to or next item, as far as the weekly KEMA business brief, as you know, we've had Devin serving as an intern in this place, in Patty's place since we've left. On this latest biz brief that I think all of you already registered for, if I'm not mistaken. If not, please let us know so we can make sure you're getting them. we're making a weekly habit to let everybody know what things are coming up, such as National Iced Tea Day or Flag Day or whichever. And I know that there was new ones there. So kudos to him for keeping it going and actually expanding it. One of the things that's on here as well is a reminder that we're kicking off that, of course, we're KEMA campaign. We've been lucky enough to work with an intern from COM at no charge, who's been part of this campaign to draw up the campaign. We've already submitted for the bus wrap in the back, and now we're working on the panels. We have invited area businesses to partake. I believe the panels are about $150 a piece. They measure 6 feet by 2 feet, so it's a potential free advertisement for anybody that's interested. We do have that actual artwork that's listed on there, and we can share different shades of it in different articles that look like that. But if you remember the, of course, KEMA campaign is just letting folks that everybody says it's KEMA. Well, of course, KEMA, right? Similar to the social media trend that's been going on. But similar campaign would be, of course, for KEMA, we have the second best boardwalk in the United States, according to USA Today, or any of those things. So we're working with area businesses to send them out samples. I do know the boardwalk's been approached. I do know T-Bone Tom's has already committed. We're just approving the artwork. Theirs is listed on there. We're KEMA, of course, we have live music 6 nights a week. So that's the type of thing that we're adding. We have sent those to some of the businesses and would like to continue doing that. Remember, we get 42 boards, if I'm not mistaken, is what we're signed up for. So please keep an eye with those directories. If you know any businesses that are not already registered on the directories, please let us know so we can add them to it so they can get this information that comes out once a week. The See My Legacy community engagement platform is on and running. We've already gotten on board. I want to thank Ms. Megan Salcedo on that support on that. She sat through the entire thing with us. We are going to run some of the campaigns that I'll talk about here in just a second through that program. So we're excited to get that thing off the ground. And we did qualify for a discount, which is always even better, right? Next item is the Adopt a Drain program. What's in your hand right now is a placard that we have received 260 of those grant funded at no charge. They're identified as KEMA, if you notice on the bottom of them, as far as city of KEMA. With storm season coming in that we're in now, the idea, the objective is also grant funded was the adhesive that goes with those is we're going to place those on the first 260 drains when we get folks that come forward and participate in the Adopt a Drain program. The way the program works is if a neighbor wants to adopt 5 drains that are on their block, we will put these adhesives on there and they'll be responsible for those drains. Meaning, what does that mean? Hey, if there's a problem with the drain, if it's clogged up and there's people throwing leaves down there, if we can get people to stop using grass clippings and blowing them down the drain, they will be an ambassador for their block because all those things lead to proper stormwater management. As you all know, we have a very small staff of 6 folks that do everything that has to do with our Public Works division, including stormwater. So this is an effort to make this a team sport. Stormwater management, and in this case, drain management, is a team sport. So it's really important that we all partake. It is absolutely free to be in the program because we're asking you to do something, so the least we could do. As part of the program, as part of the rollout, through the See My Legacy program, folks will get an opportunity to register for it and actually name their drain as well. And it will be added to our GIS. So then we'll be able to track which drains in the cities are actually going to be accounted for. The goal is to get to 100%, but our initial goal is to get to 10% through the first year. Okay. Last item is our Adopt a Tree program. As you know, this program has been in its infancy, but we are working on getting the program going. We have 120 on site, over 100 trees already. I'd like to thank our Public Works division led by Mr. Richard Loftus. They have picked up the 100 trees. They are on our site. They've been taking care of them. The next phase is going to be to start getting those planted. We met with the engineers, between over the weekend, Friday over the weekend, and then again today. We're having a meeting tomorrow to go over the exact stationing of those trees. And we're happy to report that hopefully before the end of the month, a good majority of those trees will already be in the ground. These are the smaller trees. The biggest challenge is going to be getting those up the berm. If you remember the Eagle Scout project that you guys approved, we're meeting with the Eagle Scout and his mom tomorrow morning. We're going to go over that project, but there's going to be a call for volunteers. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of effort. Yes, Public Works is going to do the majority of what I would call the heavy lifting initially by getting the trees from, they've already brought the trees to us and they're at the yard. They're getting them from the yard. We need to label them to make sure that we have the right trees on the right spot according to the actual legend that we have. So we're going to stake the locations, label the trees. Public Works is going to get the preliminary hole dug. We're going to plant the tree at the proper depth, and then we're going to need help putting the actual dirt back on top. That's the first phase of what this group would do, and we're going to need more volunteers to do that. So please be on the lookout for that, and also please help us protect that. We are having a meeting tomorrow morning at 8:30. Ms. Megan, as the 57-acre park liaison from this board, will be there, and we look forward to getting that project off the ground here very soon. And that concludes my report for today. Thank you.
You'll let us know when you need volunteers?
Yes, it is not yet. That's what tomorrow's meeting is going to be, to coordinate logistics. Because it's summer, some of it might be during the day and during the week because of the availability of the Eagle Scout and some of the other Eagle Scouts that are participating. But we will do the best we can to accommodate opportunities that also involve other times. That's the goal. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
All right, we will move on. If there's no other questions, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We have a motion to approve the minutes for the 5/12 meeting.
It's okay, we got a minute. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion by Board Member Linkletter. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second by Board Member Salceda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Move on to 9A, consideration and possible action to move forward with the 6th Street proposal. You want me to take this one since I did it?
Yes, sir.
This is in your packet, you have a map and of a project that was approved, I believe 2 years ago now. And it was taken to council and tabled because of at the time, an active lawsuit against the city. That lawsuit has been resolved in the city's favor. So Darren and I were talking about this project, kind of the last step of the circulator is to convert 6th Street, reconfigure 6th Street to one-way traffic and retain parking, and then add some walkability space or event space. Call it usable space for if the businesses want to have their street parties, they have a place to go out and do it that doesn't take up parking or a travel lane. Making 6th Street one-way, for background, the traffic engineer that originally worked with us from LJA recommended 6th Street either be restricted to pedestrians and emergency vehicles only or turned into a one-way to stop the conflict of 6th Street's all one-way road all the way to that intersection, and then you have traffic coming back at it. It is, in my opinion, the last major confusion point. It worked fine when it was restricted. The lawsuit required it to be opened. It got confusing. That you talk to the chief about how many long-way drivers they see over there, that spot. I would assume, in my opinion, that's probably the most active wrong-way spot. Even the flashing wrong-way signs that Public Works put up have helped. But nonetheless, it is a late crowd out there, and some of them are fueled by the booze. They don't exactly follow the traffic signs, even though there's like 200 of them over there of how to get around the circulator. But nonetheless, this will be the last step. It was approved and budgeted. It was not in this budget we're sitting in now because of the lawsuit. We're looking to bring it back in the next upcoming budget cycle. But the money from here went to the grant that we ended up not getting. So if council wanted to move forward sooner than later, they could. We technically have the funds because we didn't spend it in the grant. We didn't get the grant to match. That's where this money went. This is more of an FYI. This has been approved, but we didn't want it to go to council without the new members of the board that have probably never seen this, to at least get some insight and have a chance to ask questions. This original map was I personally ran it by all the business owners down there. They were all good with it, and then turned around and sued the city anyway and lost. It is what it is. 2 years later, we're trying to bring it back to finish it. The chief had a meeting with them about recent calls for service and 911 calls in the Bar District, 6th Street District. a few weeks ago, and this came back up, and he said his feedback was they were all still good with it. But before council takes this, I'm assuming we will go back down and talk about it again, just in case they have a change of heart. Ultimately, I don't know that it matters if they have a change of heart. We have to address that intersection. It's a conflict. But this all has feedback. This is the final version that all the businesses down there agreed to in their own little group. And I worked with the mayor to do the graphics on it with their feedback. So the things that won't be in this particular project is the words and the signs and the golf cart motorcycle spots. Those symbols are a placeholder. It'll look different. And then the welcome to Kima lettering on the road would be not in this scope of work. This company that you're seeing here is essentially just the resurfacing in the colors. So the stripes, the blue and the gray, everything else would be on outside of this scope of work. Also not included was to resurface in the same material the golf cart path that goes down 6th Street. That is not in this $200,000. It was like another $30,000 or $40,000 to do it because it's just one color. But the idea is to do them both at the same time because it's cheaper. We only have to pay them to mobilize once as opposed to coming twice. We save a little bit. Anybody have any questions on this project before it goes to council for consideration again?
No questions, but I mean, one of the things that we've dealt with, working with the traffic circulator and everything is that you have an existing infrastructure and you got to try to make it work as best as you can. And, we looked at the LJ engineers, we talked to Tech Stop, and they all basically said the same thing as you had mentioned, that 6th Street needed to be restricted to pedestrian and emergency traffic only. So, that would be the best of all outcomes, but I think this is a really good compromise, and I think it moves forward the concept of we need it safer and we need more pedestrian access. So this is, to me, this is exactly what we need to be doing. So do you need a motion or?
No, that we don't. This is already an approved item. We just wanted y'all to.
What was our possible action?
There is none. I don't know why I typed it up that way. Unless somebody wants to declare this not a project anymore and not recommended for council to review, I guess you could do that. But and also the one other detail with this contractor, this resurfacing thing, process and material, it is thin enough that it does not require a drainage study. It doesn't change any of the other infrastructure on the road, which was one of the leading reasons we lead with this as opposed to redoing the entire street and relaying it down.
This is a great first step, and thanks for your work on this, honestly. This is going to be great.
Any other questions? I don't think we need action. Do we? See, this is already a approved project.
I don't think so. I think since it was tabled in the past, it's fine. But my understanding was since it was pulled back until further notice, it really wouldn't hurt if you took action, really, to be honest with you.
I mean, if y'all want to reapprove it, you can. I won't stop you. Council tabled it pending the outcome of the lawsuit.
Correct.
Official action that council took years ago. So if we have a motion, I will entertain it.
Well, just a second. When you say that all the bar owners have approved or agreed to this, is that what you're saying?
This has their feedback in it. They saw it. I worked with one specific bar owner that owned multiple properties along the thing, and Mr. Wiggins has seen it since he would lose 2 parking spaces in front of one of his buildings over there, and he was good with it. The city will obviously go back to them again, and since they know this is coming back, and say this is what y'all approved the first time and agreed to. Any adjustments you want to see that we can work on? This retained as much parking as we could. It also made the parking spaces bigger that would fit trucks as opposed to their trailer hitches sticking out in the middle of the road. And we addressed the crosswalks and walkability the best we could. The reason the crosswalk in the middle of the road is as large as it is the owner of Voodoo Hut did not want that driveway there on that island to be blocked with cars or parking, which is why the crosswalk was extended.
I'd like to make a motion that we recommend the city council to go forward with this project as currently documented.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Moving on to item 9B, consideration of possible action to approve Go Mesa Grant Agreement CMP project of special merit GLO contract number 26-56-006-F406. Caesar, do you want to?
Yes, sir. Very quickly, just want to let you guys know, this is a grant that we've been waiting for, that I've been alluding that was coming. We have an actual contract in hand. It's going to council for approval. I did feel it was worthy to bring it to this body, since it is a KCDC project as far as 57 Acre Park. So I'm very delighted to report that it is $2.619 million with zero match. Once it is executed, we will then move forward, but pretty monumental move to try to get that park developed. It should, in theory, cover at least half of the remaining project, but we will see if we can stretch that somewhat. No action necessary here. This was more for discussion, actually, to make sure that you guys are aware, since it is a 57 acre park. This one will be on Wednesday's agenda for council.
I do have a question about this one, Caesar.
Yes.
So in this original document, I think the timeline starts with our first deliverable having been due June 1st.
Yes.
Will that be adjusted?
It will have to be adjusted since they took forever to get us the contract, and it will be adjusted accordingly.
Okay.
Our first deliverable is actually getting the contract executed and returned to them, technically.
And then I also know that I believe, like, your time, anyone else at the city who works on this time is not included in those funds.
That is
It's
correct.
just overhead cost. Is there any concern about that amount of work that's involved, considering this is a reimbursable
We-
project?
We will talk about, we've just had that discussion already. There is a possibility for getting some of Public Works time reimbursed for that. But as far as admin and oversight time, as far as my time and whatever staff's time is, and any marketing communications that's done with it, or finance time that obviously is done tracking, will all have to be part of our, assumed cost.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Any other questions on 9B before we move on to 9C? 9C, consideration of possible action concerning digital signage in the lighthouse districts.
This concept is basically I want to elevate this to a project that we can vote on next month. And the idea is when 2 years ago, when we first came on KCDC, we had, the council had hired some consultants, and they were the kind of consultants coming to city planning and how to grow. And a lot of people that want to have be a Round Top or a Fredericksburg and that kind of thing. And they came out here and looked at Keeman, and she says, you already have all the ingredients you need here. And she said, one of the biggest ingredients is 146. Right now, there's about 40,000 cars a day going down 146. We've got what's the current Keema visitor count? 2 million? 2 million. So that 2 million, basically all of them make a turn on 6th Street. And the other 40,000 a day are going past it, either above or below. So the idea was, when we brought this up with the Keema Business Alliance, was how do we get our message out to all these people? I mean, 2 million people make a turn on 6th Street. Are we talking to them about who we are, what we do, what it is, what it does, why you need to have it, right? So the idea we currently have some digital signage up there on 294, and it's dull, it's small. You squint when you look at it. Even at night, I look at it, it's too far to really look at it. So our goal would be to start with a concept of large digital boards right there on 6th Street, on the corner of 6th and 146, and wedge boards. And the idea would be, we work with all the members who want to be part of it in the Keema Business Alliance. We do it. They put some skin in the game, and what we look at is producing 20-second ads that basically say what it is, what it does, why you need to have it, right? And with each one of those ads, you distill that down to a 5 or 7 second bumper. And so what we have is, if you're part of the Keema Business Alliance, you can participate in this, and you can be part of saying who we are and what we do. And so it's not just the businesses, it's about what's going on in town, about what we're doing, and I think that in conjunction with the way the boardwalk advertises, we're getting more people down to downtown, and they're going to specific businesses. They're going to Mona Lisa, they're going to Cool Cat, they're going, to all the places that might be a little bit hard to get to, because, she had mentioned Cool Cat just earlier. I said, oh yeah, Cool Cat, isn't that great? Well, I should see that, about every other time I drive down 146. So the idea is, what we want to do is determine the costs of the screens, B, the locations that we put them in, C, how we would get people to participate in that in terms of the partnering with Kima Business Alliance, and when can we get it done? So I'd like to work with Caesar and a few others to see if we can get a basic framework of costs and then elevate this project in the next meeting.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Linkletter?
No question, just a comment. When you mentioned the board, where you were talking about the ones at the community center that are, as far as the ones that are dull.
Correct.
Yeah, one of the items that we have as far as our CIP to bring back to you during budget season is to get those elevated and touched up a bit to make them more visible. So, thank you.
I thought we would kind of do a cost analysis on upgrading those at the same time.
Thank you.
Do we need to make a motion or just?
I think if you have the consensus of the body, you ask for that to come back as a formal project at the next meeting. If that's the action you'd like to be taken, then that's what you would ask of your board to do.
Okay, well, I'd like to make a motion that we go forward and we elevate this to a project, or at least give the opportunity to you guys to vote this as a project next month.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
First and a second. All those in favor?
All right?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That, we're in executive session. That would conclude our meeting unless anybody has anything else to discuss. Otherwise, we will adjourn at 7:01.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, send me that. Or anything you want.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna be a whole lot.